At 52, bankruptcy destroyed Robert's life in Denver. $340,000 in debt. Credit score of 470, zero job prospects. 2 years later, he's completely debt-free, saving $48,000 a year in Mexico City. The rent that dropped from $1,900 to $400 saved his financial future. But it couldn't save Thanksgiving dinner from being eaten alone. If you want stories of bold decisions and the people who risk everything to reinvent their lives, subscribe now so you never miss the next leap. Robert Henderson, 52 years old, Denver, Colorado. 20 years building a consulting business from the ground up. Married, 2 adult children, 3 grandchildren living within 20 minutes. Respected in his industry. Established. Secure. Then the business failed. Not slowly, catastrophically. A major client bankruptcy triggered a domino effect. Within 8 months, $340,000 in debt. Credit score plummeted from 720 to 470. Divorce followed. His wife couldn't handle the financial stress. He lost the house and the settlement. At 52, Robert was starting over with $5,000 in severance pay. That was everything. The math was brutal. First problem, Denver rent. Even a basic one-bedroom apartment. $1,900 per month. Add utilities, internet, parking, $2, $200 minimum. Second problem, at 52, with destroyed credit and business failure on his record, job prospects were grim. Recruiters were blunt. Nobody hires a bankrupt 50-year-old executive. Best case scenario, $45,000 to $50,000 per year doing entry-level work. Third problem, living in Denver on $45,000 while trying to pay down $340,000 in debt was mathematically impossible. Rent alone would consume half his pre-tax income. Robert spent 3 weeks in his brother's basement, running the numbers every possible way. Every scenario in Denver ended the same. Slow financial death, maybe declaring bankruptcy, definitely working until 70 just to survive. Then, he remembered a conversation from years earlier. A colleague who'd moved to Mexico City. Cost of living is a third of the U.S. Your skills are worth more there because they're scarce. Robert opened a new spreadsheet, not about staying in Denver, about what would happen if he left completely. The numbers were shocking. Rent in Mexico City, $400 to $600 for a decent place. Food, $250 per month. Transportation, $60. Health insurance, $80. If he could generate even $2,000 per month freelancing, barely survivable in Denver, he could live comfortably in Mexico City and pay down debt. It wasn't a bold leap. It was basic arithmetic. Geography as survival strategy. Robert made a simple calculation. Denver baseline survival, $3,500 per month minimum. After taxes on $45,000 salary, $2,900 monthly. Impossible. Mexico City baseline, $1,400 per month for comfortable living. Freelance income of $3,000 per month after taxes, $2,400 monthly. That left $1,000 for debt payments. Over 12 months in Denver, $0 toward debt, probably accumulating more. Over 12 months in Mexico City, $12,000 toward debt, while living better than poverty-level Denver. His brother, you're running away from your problems. His ex-wife, you're abandoning your grandchildren. His daughter, Dad, you don't even speak Spanish. You'll be completely alone down there. His financial advisor, Mexico? That's not a financial strategy. That's giving up. Even his closest friend was direct. Robert, you're 52, broke, and talking about fleeing the country. This sounds like a breakdown, not a plan. Robert bought a one-way ticket to Mexico City. $220. He packed 2 suitcases, put the rest in a $40 per month storage unit. Arrived in Mexico City on September 15th with $4,200 in his bank account. All that remained after the ticket and first month's rent deposit. No job, broken Spanish, no network, No backup plan. Just math that said, stay in Denver and drown slowly, or go to Mexico City and maybe, possibly survive. Robert found a furnished studio in Condesa, one of Mexico City's safest, most walkable neighborhoods. Rent, $400 per month. In Denver, he'd been looking at $1,900 for a worse apartment in a worse area. The first month, he lived like he was still in Denver financially, cautious, scared to spend. He bought groceries at Walmart, cooked every meal, took the metro everywhere. His budget that first month. Rent, $400 food, $220 transportation, $45 phone/internet, $35 utilities, $60 total, $760. In Denver, rent alone was $1,900, but there was no income yet. His savings dropped from $4,200 to $3,440, then to $2,680, then to $1,920. Month 3, he had $1,160 left. Maybe 5 weeks before he'd have to crawl back to Denver in complete defeat. Then he landed his first client. A Mexican startup needed help restructuring their operations. They'd found his old LinkedIn profile. The rate they offered, $80 per hour. In Mexico, that was premium. They needed 15 hours of work that week. Robert delivered it in 3 days. The client was impressed. American business methodology, delivered fast, in English with clear documentation. They asked for 20 hours the next week. Then they refer him to another company. Month 4, $3,200 in freelance income. Month 5, $3,800. Month 6, $4,100. Not wealth, but in Mexico City, with $1,400 monthly expenses, it was survival with margin. By month 9, Robert had a realization. In Denver, companies saw him as failed business owner, age 52, desperate, will work cheap. In Mexico City, companies saw him as American consultant with 20 years of experience, fluent in U.S. business practices, premium expert. Same person, same skills, different market perception. Mexican companies paid him $80 to $100 per hour. Rates he could never command in Denver post-bankruptcy. But his cost of living was 1/3 of Denver. Month 12, 5 regular clients. $5,200 monthly income. Expenses still $1,400. He was saving $3,800 per month. In Denver, even with a $50,000 job, he'd save maybe $400 per month after scraping by. The geography hadn't just made survival possible. It had made recovery possible. Month 18, first debt fully paid off. Month 24, second major debt cleared. Month 30, Robert made the final payment on the last significant debt, $340,000. Gone. In Denver, he'd still be drowning, probably deeper in debt. In Mexico City, he was completely debt-free at 54. Today, at 54, Robert runs a small consulting practice from Mexico City. Monthly income, $6,500. Monthly expenses, $1,850. Monthly savings, $4,650. Annual savings, $55,800. He has $42,000 in his savings account, more than he'd had in 15 years. His rent is still $400. A 1-bedroom in a safe, beautiful neighborhood where he walks to cafes, parks, and restaurants. In Denver, that same lifestyle would cost $4,200 per month minimum. Impossible on freelance income. The financial breakdown is simple. Denver monthly costs, if he'd stayed. Rent, $1,900 utilities, $180 food, $600 transportation, $350 health insurance, $400 internet/phone, $120 total, $3,550 per month. Mexico City actual costs. Rent, $400 utilities, $80 food, $250 transportation, $60 health insurance, $80 internet/phone, $30 total, $1,400 per month. Difference, $2,150 per month. Over 2 years, $51,600 in savings that wouldn't exist in Denver. That difference paid off $340,000 in debt and built a $42,000 emergency fund. Geography wasn't a lifestyle choice. It was financial survival. But the apartment that cost $400 can't fill itself with family on Thanksgiving. Robert's daughter got married last year. He saw the photos on Facebook. His grandson took his first steps. He found out 3 days later on a video call. His granddaughter had a piano recital. He wasn't there. Christmas is quiet. Birthdays pass with WhatsApp messages instead of hugs. He rebuilt his financial life by leaving his family life behind. Robert saved his financial future with a $400 apartment in Mexico City. The math worked perfectly. Debt eliminated. Savings growing. Business stable. But here's what the spreadsheet couldn't calculate. The cost of missing your grandson's first words because you're 2,000 miles away. The weight of holidays spent alone because flights are expensive and time is limited. The reality that financial recovery and family proximity don't always coexist. Robert made the right financial decision. He's certain of that. He's also certain that being right doesn't make Thanksgiving dinner less quiet. If this story inspired you, subscribe and share it with someone who might be standing at the edge of their own bold leap today.